Hello, it's Matty G. Um, Basically, this is the second part to the mod special we were doing the previous night. It's not a scheduled stream, so if you're lucky enough to join us at some point during this stream, fair play. We're going to try and keep it short. This is just to add to the other one. People can watch it on the channel or watch it on the YouTube channel later on when it gets posted in a few days' time. So this is basically, we're going to go on to some of the equipment I normally use. These are all modded equipment, so bear that in mind. It's all console friendly, as I am on console, Xbox Series S. For anyone who's having trouble on the older Xbox generations, if you've always wanted to upgrade and you've been thinking about it, and the only real reason is financially it's not quite viable for you, I am not affiliated nor am I sponsored, but I would recommend Amazon. You can get one from Amazon, as long as you've used them a few times and you've bought a few things, you should be able to get one on a 5-pay monthly payment sort of plan thing. No interest, no fees. Basically with the Series S it's £250. That's £50 a month for 5 months. Of course you can go for a 3-month payment plan if you want. It's exactly what I did back in, I think it was like October or something, maybe even earlier than that. They were the only place that had them at the time, and I had to get one because, well, my children broke my old one. So here we go. First off, we have a John Deere. It's the 6300. It is a mod. It is cheap and cheerful. It's not the most powerfulest one. We will have a look at it in the sale shop. We go over to small tractors, all the way to my modded tractors at the end here. It's here. This is the open cab. You also have a enclosed cab. 15 grand for the open, 20 grand for the enclosed cab. They're both 100 to 105 horsepower, depending. Again, they're not there for massive power. It does have a PTO, believe it or not. May not look like it, but it does. Sounds nice for a little tractor. It's not a bad little one. It will pull some small stuff, small cultivator, small seeder, that sort of thing. It's fantastically cheap for anyone who's starting out on a roleplay scenario, survival. It's a good one. So now we've had a little look at this, we're just going to pull it over to the fence line so it's out of the way. I'm going to go around it quickly. It is what it is. Open cab with a sheltered roof. It's not bad looking little one. And then we move on to another small engine one. This is the L95. It's a New Holland. You can get it in what I like to call the Ford blue. You can quite easily imagine it just saying Ford written across here. It's a lovely little tractor, and these are about, I think they're 30 grand, but we will have a quick look at it again. Small tractors all the way to the end. And there it is. It's the New Holland L95. It's a Fiat Agri, but different to the other one. We will see later on. 95 horsepower. Slightly less, more expensive at 36,400. Probably, to be honest, a better tractor than the John Deere one. In my opinion, it seems to run better. I love this little one. It will pull, again, small items. Have a little listen. Sounds just the same really as the other one. You've got pipe options, so you can have the flappy pipe, you can have all sorts of options. These are just all in-game basics. Cash counter there. Yeah, we'll jump out. This one, as you can see, does have a PTO. And now I'm stuck. It's not going to let me back over the fence line, is it? There we go. Next we have, I'm trying to think what this one's called now. Oh, there we go. Valtramat 6400. Jump in. It has the beautiful option of change driving direction. So now you're just the same. Controls are identical. You want to go right, turn right. Let's turn that back direction again. Fantastic when you do it in cab. There we go. And again, the same controls again. quick look at this in the mod hub. Oh, sorry, mod hub in the buy and sale. We've got the Valmat 6400. It's 80 grand. And for some reason my live stream has just become live on my laptop again. Well, there we go. We'll mute that. Yeah, it's 80 grand. I've obviously, as you can tell, I've put it in the voucher colour, the yellowy green. It is what it is. It does have a front attachment on this. Nice sturdy tractor. 190, I believe, on the horsepower on this one. I might be wrong. I should really check that. Now I've said it. Makes you look daft. Up to 120. That's its bigger brother. That's the 191. Then starts off 190. Next we come on to probably my favourite tractor current. I do like my old school tractors. It's the Messi Ferguson 3670. It's that badge alone is worth more than anything to me. Yeah, my granddad had an old Messi on his farm that he used to work on. Nothing quite as nice as this. There we go. You can hear it. It's a good sounding engine. And I think it's a 170 brake horsepower on this. But again, we will, for some reason we're on there, we will have a look at it. Oh no, we're in the wrong bit now. It's in medium-sized tractors. 97 grand. Not bad. 170 to 190 horsepower, so it can be increased a little bit. Again, there's a few options on there, but I mean, just look at it, it's gorgeous. Pop this over here. On to the next one. Next we have, well, there's two of these. I tried getting them side by side, but for some reason it created a gap and then filled the gap. These are the John Deere's 4755s. This one is a two-wheel drive. It's European. I got this a European one. And the other one is a US version, and this is the two-wheel assist. I.e. half a four-wheel, yeah, sort of four-wheel drive. It's a very, very nice little tractor. The two-wheel drive, honestly, steers better. It does. It steers much better. We'll jump in. Love the animations on the doors. You can see, there you can see the turn circle straight away. Nice, wide. Just whack this over in the corner. And we'll go look at its... Now the fact that it's a US is not the reason the turning circle's worse. It's just not as nice as a turning circle because of the chunkier wheels at the front. So I mean, again, it depends on everyone's farming preferences. But they are the two models, or two of the four models, shall I say. Yes, believe it or not, there's four models. There's two US models, two European models, two-wheel drives, and this two-wheel drive Sift, or four-wheel drive if you like. We'll have a look at in the old mod hub forum. And here they are. Like I say, there is four. Prices vary a little bit. Obviously the four-wheel drive, if you like, or the assist, they are the more expensive one at just shy of 100 grand. And then for 93.50, you have the two-wheel drive versions, the US and the European Union, the EU versions. 190 to 228 brake horsepower. They're a good alternative to get a big size engine. You know, as you're upgrading, 100 grand. You know, you get to a certain point in your role-playing scenario where you've already got a couple of small engine tractors. You know, you've got a few quid saved up, and you're about to upgrade. Sell one of the older tractors. Now you've got any money to go upgrade. Why not go for one of these? Again, everyone's got an opinion. Next on the list is, well, everyone must have had one of these already by now since it came out. It's the Fiat Agri. It is a lovely model. I love the old tractors. Anyone who knows me knows I'm loving my old tractors. This is fantastic. The animation on it, sound of it's very loud. We do have an issue with it though. You can open the door animation whilst in cab and driving. It's the same control on console. Obviously I'm not with PC, so I can't tell you that. It's the same control on console to open a door as it is to open a cover for a seeder or fertilizer. So if you've got a piece of equipment attached to it and you need to fill it up and it requires you to open a cover, this is not the machine to use with at all. It's 33 grand. We don't need to look at it in the mod hub. I've used this plenty. It's 180 horsepower. For 33 grand and 180 horsepower, it's fantastic. So, you know, for example, you'd start with sort of one of these three here. Then you most likely, if you're role playing trying to cheap it, you'd go for one of these as your second tractor. And then for a third, it will be one of these three here. That's the way I would preferably go. Now we get into something a bit more bigger. We've got one of these. It's 45 grand. It's a big engine. It is what it is. I don't particularly like it that much anymore. It was fun while it lasted. You know, maybe I think 2 playthroughs or something. Yeah, I'm just not a lover of this at all. Yeah, don't like it. It's 45 grand. I think it's 200. Oh, wrong button. It's 200. There it is. No, it's 160 horsepower. So there you go. 45 grand for 160 horsepower. Not bad on the price, but again, not particularly like it. Now, we're not going to go into too much detail on these last few on the tractors, but we've got a case, 7210, and then we've got the 7210 Pro. They're both identical. This one's a little cheaper. This one's a little bit more expensive. They're practically identical. I think this one might have a bit more power as well. We'll quickly have a butch at them. Here they are. So yeah, it's hardly anything in it, to be honest. The standard case is actually more powerful when tuned up than the Pro, but the Pro is you know, it's a better one to start off with. They are what they are. The Pro is a fraction bit bigger in bulkier, if you like. It is a fraction minute. You'll hear as we drive them round, they are identical sounding. It's nice to have the 2 different options, don't get me wrong. It seems kind of pointless when you're using the same model completely. All you've really done is, I mean, if you look at them, the height is adjusted slightly to make this one, I would say, in real life, no more than about 2 inches taller. Honestly. And then you get the Pro written across it. And all it really does is, you start off with 20 more horsepower than the base standard version of this. But at the top end, this is about 10 brake horsepower less than the original. At the top end. Bizarre. Next is this one. Used it a while. It looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. Very old school. Again, bigger than I normally use for my old style plays. As you can see, it moves really well. And at 26 miles an hour, it's not a bad one for this. We're just going to go crash counter it into here. Jump out. I'm going to have a little look at it in the shop. Just going to pass it. There it is. The Traction King. 70,000 for 210 horsepower. And of course you can upgrade that to 300 horsepower. 300 in a medium-sized tractor for less than 70 grand. I don't really need to say more on that, really. That sells itself. So they are the tractors I use. I don't really use large tractors. I think the only large tractor I normally use, if I get one, is Class. We will have a quick look at the harvesters all the way to the end. I've got a few mods, but we're going to talk about some standard ones. So I'm just going to get some in here. These are the two we're going to be talking about. You've got the new Holland Tx32. Anyone who's played this game for any period of time will know that in 19 this was the big starter. This was, if you like, this was the Deutsch Farts that you now get as you start a combine. It's smaller, it holds less, the headers are ridiculously tiny, but for 55 grand on a roll plate, it's perfect. You know how it sounds. There it is unfolded. You have a straw swath. It holds 4,500, I think. It is what it is. That's how it sounds. That's how it looks. I'll leave that over there. This one is a Class Dominator. We have seen these before. But for £70,000, the header for it is less than 6,000, I believe. And the trailer, 850 quid. You can get the whole setup for less than 80 grand, which works out about the same price as the full setup for this. And some people say, oh, the Russell Mash one looks more modern, looks better, less squarey and whatnot, and it's about the same price. Yes, it is about the same price, except for when you then buy the header, which costs £20,000. To me, it's a no-brainer. Dominator every time, unless a particular play requires you to have a Russell Mash. Anyway, we'll open her up. In sliding roof panel for the grain extension. Swath at the back. Right, there we go. Not the quickest one, 15 miles an hour, but when our harvester's quick these days. Big wide turn, big chunky tyres. It is what they are, or they are what they are. Or is what they is what they are. But there we go. As the two harvesters I like to use the most when it's starting off. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in here that we like to use. We've shown the TLX, we don't need that, but what I will like to show, if there is one in here, is this bad boy. Now, I am very picky on how I get these. I always get them in these darker colours. Like so. Protection B. With the cab. We'll have one of them like that for now. And then if I jump down to here, I'm trying to think where I go, miscellaneous. Well, I'll tell you what we do is we will go for the fertiliser spreader one. There. There. Get one of them. These are a modular. I think actually probably the best way of showing you will be in here. I've just got to try and find it. Out of all my mods. These are all the mods that I use. There are quite a few of them. And you know what, my eyes deceive me because I cannot see it. There it is. There we go. So you've also got a skip. Apparently it won't let me change colour for the skip. There we go. I have no idea what happened there. Why is that? Anyone else just see that happen? That was the weirdest thing. I found a new glitch. Seem to be finding them today. We get one of them. You've also got a bale container, 3-point lift. That's technically a sprayer. We'll get one of them to show you what they look like. You got ploughs that can go on the front, which I think is brilliant. As I say, you've got fertilizer spreader and you can get a salt spreader, but we'll stick to what we've got at the minute. So I'll just give you a show. They come in modular, just like a TLX. If anyone has never used modulars, we will show you how to connect them up. These are different beds, and because they are small, you could own a small shed and keep modules in there. You haven't got to get all these gators. You just keep modules in there. These are a couple of grand a piece. And this baby here, less than, I think it's 12 and a half, 15 grand. Maybe nearly 20 when you put all the bits and bobs together on it, but you can tune these right up so they go a lot faster than 15. We don't need to. Our driving's terrible today. So you just simply crash into it so many times until you get it right. You drive over the module like that. Select attach, just like you're attaching a piece of equipment. That is that. Bring it into the light where it looks better. There we are. There we have it. Do your spreading on your field. It's got a 10 metre working width. I use this in the Calmsden series, if anyone's been watching that one. Just drop that off. And again, you've got this one here. This is called the Skip. Basically, it's your truck bed, your pickup, similar sort of thing. Put over in the sun. Toggle that up and down. It's not giving me the option, but I promise you, you can tip that. It's a tipper. I think you have to have something in it to tip. Fasten tension. It's definitely a tipper. And that'll be it for today. So hopefully we shall see you again. He says as he's trying to exit.